Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniature. You may have noticed that we have had a bit of an absence of 3D printed and just traditional tabletop miniature models on this channel for the last few weeks. And that is partly because, well, there haven't been a whole lot of interesting kits that are in an affordable price range coming out. There's also a few kits that have come out that I'm waiting for to arrive in the mail. And the fact that somehow I got a puncture on the bottom of my resin printing vat, and I am waiting on replacement parts. And it just so happens, unfortunately, that in the timing of all of that, I am also busy doing some traveling because I need a break once in a while with my family over the next few days. So, unfortunately, that all kind of just rolled up into a ball of non-miniature stuff. And with a recent update from Trench Crusade and the upcoming physical printed rulebook, which I am quite eager for, I have been fighting with a particular model, which obviously you saw in the thumbnail there, and we'll talk about him in a sec. And for the most part, I've actually painted quite a few heretic forces. This is a bestiarum one, just because heretic stuff is fun, entertaining, easy to come up with, well, relatively easy to come up with color schemes for, but they're just kind of fun models. And even if you don't have, very official specific ones, there's all kinds of fun stuff that can step in to be used for official models or just in friendly games. I like these Conquistadores from, they were Daka store, I think. Weren't they? That sounds right. And there's always stuff like some of the fun figures from Raging Heroes that could absolutely get commandeered and used. Maybe just clip off that blade and give them something a bit more traditional, but just a fun figure anyways. But none of these are what I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to talk about today, where my true love for what I've seen from Trench Crusade is with the court. The court of the seven beasts, wasn't it? Basically all the demons. I've always had a soft spot for big, winged, crazy monstrosities. Whether or not I paint them always is an entirely different subject. Our good friend here has long been a faithful friend on the tabletop for as long as he's been available. But today, I finally, after months of fighting with this figure, and I'm hopefully not going to destroy it on camera, which would really suck, but I finally finished putting together the Desecrated Saint of Brutality from Papsikels. Now, Pepsicles often will take a concept that is fairly popular or extremely niche, like with their upcoming Z-Man. Like, how many people out there are even really familiar with Katsura's manga, first of all? But the fact that they're rolling with a Z-Man after they've continued to non-stop put out just about every single Guyver, Zoanoid, Zoalord unit from that series is a whole other topic of worthy discussion, and I am so far behind on painting. Someday, if I ever accomplish that feat, I will go into it in great detail. But when I first saw the original Desecrated Saint, I was like, and I printed one, and I don't know where it is naturally. I've been trying to clean out all of my unfinished, unpainted models because I have a spouse that has some close to hoarding tendencies, and if I don't clear things out myself, then she sometimes sees that as a sign that she can start acquiring and piling things up, which I'm not cool with. I don't like it. It's just, I don't deal well with clutter. So that's a totally different story considering how much of a cluttered mess my tiny little table is here. But this figure, while obviously is quite large, as he barely even fits in my palm, is a multi-part figure. All of his weapons, hands, arms were separate pieces. But the thing that got me were these wings of his. They have like 4 contact points. And you can see that they're kind of connected to the body. I don't even know if that's where they go. And there's only like 2 on the other side. I fought with these things for months to get them to attach. And finally, for whatever reason, they decided they were going to go together. And one of the coolest things I think about this is just the nastiness of the weapons this guy's bringing to the table. I mean, obviously you can tell it's heavily inspired by the actual official model for the Desecrated Saint, and I'm not going to pretend that it's not. I just really like the design of this one, and there's been a few figures as Pepsicles has continued to roll with their reinterpretation of a lot of Trench Crusade models. Like, what was this guy? The Order of the Left-Hand Path or something similar like that. A lot of times they take the designs and just bulk it up. I do like the kind of flesh hood that's very Kezu armor-like of the original model a bit more, but this one was kind of interesting, and just the fact that it actually printed correctly with all those tentacly mess of limbs going on there is impressive in and of itself. It's also a little bit bigger than the official one. You can see there with some human-sized models. I don't know why I have this Bestiarum Crusader there. Criminal Rom Jaeger, because they're kind of close. You could see, just even from a faraway distance, he's got a good couple heads more in height than these guys. Nothing compared to our huge Desecrated Saint with those nasty weapons and that flail of bells. But honestly, one of the cool things, and unfortunately I've given most of them to my brother, and I don't know if he's gotten around to painting them yet, but he's not even in the States at the moment, so I can't even ask him. But one of the cool things is Papsikels has just been kind of rolling out their own stuff, and that's one of the best things about them. They've made Predators and Xenomorphs since like 3D printing first really rolled out and got popular, but they have continued to make Xenomorphs and Predators and have just come up with their own stuff at this point, and that's really kind of half the fun. I do have this one. This was the Kyopo Communicant. And you want to talk about a big dude. I mean, obviously, Kyopo being a area of Manila, I don't see that fitting in necessarily with anything in the specific actual factions that we have so far, but one of the cool things is obviously with Trench Crusade, you can just kind of find a spot and use a list and roll with it. But I know he's made a ton of various, I guess, Pilgrim-style models at this point. I don't even know the Holy Order guys, like New Antioch. I like all the bad guys, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I just have this one, but obviously this is basically just a plug, other than the fact that I finally got this dude finished and ready to actually get painted, because he's big. I mean, he's like Scarbrand levels big. They can go toe to toe. He may not have the depth and width of a model like Scarbrand, but he did, well, I don't know. Like, depth maybe not, width absolutely. I'd say that wingspan is going to give our friend there of Corns a good run for the money. But yeah, he barely fits on that. It's like a 60 millimeter base, so I might need to get him on a little bit bigger or something there. But anyway, getting back to the Kyopo guys for a sec. If you're curious, if you're interested, they obviously have all of these on their website and My Mini Factory links, so if you want to take a look at any of that, there's definitely some fun to be had there. And plus, they just keep making all kinds of weird, crazy stuff. I want to say they've probably got Badlands figures up already. I know they did K-pop Demon Hunter based figures, and I had to go print some for my students, so I don't have any of those anymore. But yeah, fun stuff, and I'm just gloating about the fact that hopefully I can get that guy painted up, and I don't know when that'll happen, but do keep an eye out. Just bear with me while I wait for replacement parts, so hopefully within the next few weeks I got all that printing up and running again. But it's not like I don't have a ridiculous backlog of plastic model kits, so hopefully you guys can be appeased with that. Anyway then, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye!